I never dreamed of success. I worked for it. Estee Lauder. Talking about women working for their success. On today's episode, I'm sharing with you some of my takeaways from the past few weeks' guests and giving you an update on the happenings in my business. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Become Your Own Boss Planner. This planner can be started at any time of year. If you want to really know how to be boss of your life and live the life you desire, this is the planner for you. Breaking your goals down annually, monthly, and weekly, you will get them done. You can purchase yours at becomeyourownbossplanner.com or see the link in the show notes. The past few weeks of interviews have been so fun for me. Shelley Paxton of THROWBACK, Miss Chevy from CB Sourcing, and Rose Kaz of Lady Boss International have dropped great words of wisdom over the past few episodes. I wanted to just quickly share with you some of my top takeaways and give you some business updates for me as well. Shelley talked to us about being intentional and doing what lights us up. This really hit home for me because pre-COVID, I found my business was running me ragged. See, we can leave the hustle and bustle of corporate to venture out on our own, but find ourselves doing the same stressful things in our own business. I actually think having your own business is even more stressful. When you know that getting the sale could mean the difference in you meeting all of your financial obligations for the month or not. And once you add other people to the mix, other people relying on you for their livelihood, that is a whole other level of pressure. So being intentional around how you want your business to be, how you want it to serve others, including yourself, is key. It is something that as entrepreneurs, I think we should ask ourselves from time to time. The question then is, how do you make changes if it's not serving you the way you need? And this takes me to the next point or takeaway of being willing to change and pivot. Shelley is stepping more into her personal brand. This is something that I'm interested in as well. What does that mean as a pivot or change for me though? Well, I'm still figuring that out. But being willing to ask yourself the hard question of what do I want out of my life? Is this business lighting me up or is it draining me? And if it is the latter, what do you do? Do you hire people, sell it, move out of the lead role? I was recently listening to another podcast where the CEO gave up that role because he wanted to remain more on the creator and innovator side of things. He did not want to be the ultimate leader of the company. Now, to me, that takes guts to kind of hand over your baby to someone else. For me personally, I have days where my business excites me. It lights me up. I am having so much fun, especially when I can focus on the strategy of the business. But I have found that on days where I am stuck in the weeds, I can get very frustrated and it leaves me feeling drained. And so those are the things that I continue to focus on outsourcing or delegating because I want my business to light me up, which moves me on to my next takeaway, which is ask for help. This point was made by both Shelley and Rose. This can be hard for an entrepreneurial type. We can sometimes think that no one else can do it like we do it, or they can't do it as good as we do it. And perhaps they can't do it exactly like we would do it because they're not in our heads. However, that's where training and standard operating procedures come into play. And it saves them energy and time trying to figure things out, and it also saves us. The truth is, if we don't get help, learn to delegate through hiring or outsourcing as our business grows, we will find ourselves burnt out and stressed, and ultimately, it will be very difficult for us to scale our company. This may also be asking for help in way of family support. Right now, my mom picks up our kids every Friday to help Ethan and I out so we can focus on the stores, since Fridays are typically pretty busy days. My next takeaway was from Shelley, and she said, don't edit yourself. This one's kind of funny to me because I recently posted a snip from my episode with Shelley to this point. Shelley was on episode 95. And in the clip, she is talking about us not editing ourselves, especially as women. We will often downplay our story or qualifications. The exact same day I posted this to Instagram, someone was in the store asking me about podcasting. And I went on to tell them about how I've done a couple of podcasting workshops to help others get started. But I don't know why people ask me to do this. I just started podcasting a couple of years ago. I'm no expert. Ethan sent me a text that read, "Stop editing yourself." And yes, that is exactly what I was doing, downplaying my qualifications and knowledge. Now, I must admit, I'm still getting used to this, but it is okay to toot our own horn. It is okay to accept that we have knowledge on subjects that other people don't. And that is a great thing. So don't edit yourself. Another takeaway from Shelley is there is no such thing as hell maybe. We can often say yes to too much. We don't have boundaries or protect our time. But I love this. No hell maybe. So if you're kind of wishy-washy around doing something, then just say no. It's okay. And you don't have to give an excuse as to why either. And I love the fact that Shelley has meetings, capital M, capital E, E-teens, which makes space for herself, carves out time and rests and restores her so she can bring her whole self to projects, to her business, so she's not running around breathless and exhausted. I love that. And so I'm adopting that. I'm going to start writing in meetings for myself on my calendar. And I suggest you do the same if you don't already. Okay, just a couple of more. Take advantage of opportunities presented to you. I loved how Chevy raised her hand when given the opportunity to travel to China. This made me think about how sometimes opportunities will present themselves to us and we will either talk ourselves out of them because it seems hard or we feel unqualified. Or in some cases, we let other people talk us out of them. But I loved how Chevy said, "I'm going." And she has since grown her business and helped others grow theirs. Lastly, build your community. This is something that is imperative to all of us as we start and grow our businesses. Our community, people who believe in our service or products, will pass the word on to their friends and family that need those services or products. People will become a part of your community even if they are not ready to shop with you yet. I love to talk to Stuffer Greeks customers who say, "I knew exactly where I would get my jacket from once I joined my organization. I've been looking at your site for years." So see, people can be part of your community even if they don't actually shop with you yet or they're actually not your customer yet. How do you build community? I do believe that social media has made this much easier. It used to be that it was literally your local community. But now we have that and social media, which allows people to take an inside look at your business. They can connect with you more emotionally. Another is via ongoing email communication and connections you can make via phone and mail. This can also be easier when clients are assigned to specific members of your sales and service team. So those individuals can get to know the customer even better. And lastly, providing great customer service will lead to great community among your customers and your potential customers. So those are my top takeaways from episodes 95, 96, and 97. 3 women who are charting their own paths and being the boss of their lives. If you have not had an opportunity to take a listen, please go back and check them out. If you find some other takeaways that I missed, please feel free to share those with me. Listen, I'm so excited because in 2 weeks, just 2 more episodes, this podcast will reach 100 episodes. And I will be celebrating 2 years of podcasting. It is crazy and amazing how time flies. This has been so much fun for me. I love sharing my business knowledge, my mistakes, and my wins. But more so, I love bringing you all the wonderful entrepreneurs I'm meeting on this journey. And just a quick business update. Life is full of constant change, as we all know. I'm actually very happy that I hired 2 part-time admins a couple of months ago because, unfortunately, One of them had to leave to take care of her ailing mother. So our current part-time assistant will be moving to a full-time role in a couple of weeks. We still need to get some additional hiring done for the upcoming fall season. And my awesome home helper is finishing school and will be moving on soon as well. In full disclosure, these types of moves can be very discouraging. In the early days, I used to actually feel hurt when people left our company. But over time, I have learned and appreciate that everyone has their own journey. It may include me and our company for a while. My goal is that they leave having learned something that will positively impact their lives. We have some great retention in our company as well, so we continue to aim to build upon that. Those are the big happenings right now. Otherwise, things are moving along. It is spring, and so that's a very busy time of year for us. So we're getting to see some really cool designs and jackets step out into the world, which is always so thrilling to me. So business is good. Of course, when people leave, it's a little bit of a setback, but you post a job, you get out there, you find a great team member to add to the team. So I'm excited about the opportunities and the potential of someone else, a couple people joining our company in the near future. Don't forget to grab the free ebook, 11 Essential Secrets to Business Success, at monicasfreebook.com. Thank you for listening today. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Become Your Own Boss Podcast. If you have comments or questions, you can always email me at monica@monicaallen.com. Take a moment, if you haven't already, to share, rate, subscribe, and leave a review for the podcast. This helps the podcast continue to grow. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss.